Hi, I'm Kranti Samo, you watching OVERDRIVE, and today we have a special person from Volvo, Mr. Martin Persson, who is head of Asia Pacific. Thank you, Martin, for taking out time for us.
Thank you.
We just attended your roundtable, and there was one term which I want you to elaborate more on, the India growth plan.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. What is that?
No, I think we have come quite far in our business in India, and I would call that the first phase of our growth plan. And we understand now that the next phase, which I think the potential is very big, but we also understand that there will be a number of actions needed to catch that growth. And that's exactly what I'm here now to work together with Yotti, the MD, and his team to identify what are the actions that we need to take now to drive the next phase of growth in, let's say, the next 4 or 5 years.
And how do you quantify that? Any number, any figure which you have in your mind?
Actually, we have different numbers because we have different scenarios depending on what we do. I think the only common denominator that every scenario has a big growth to it.
And how do you define growth in your sense right now in Indian context? Because when you look at luxury car market, the numbers you have shown growth, but are you happy with it? And how do you see it? How do make it bigger?
I would say like this: I'm very happy with the share we have of the premium luxury BEV market, if you call it like that, where we have a 20+ market share. That's very competitive. We look globally. I think the point is that is still a very small segment. If I understand right, it's about 7% of the luxury car market. So of course we can be happy about the market share, but the pie is too small right now. So what we are keeping a keen eye on is what happens with that market. When does it start to grow? How fast does it grow? And then of course we are looking to defend that market share we have in that segment.
So are you going to focus on BEV, battery electric vehicles more now?
Yes, I mean that is our future towards 2030, 100% battery electric. And the products that we will bring to the market will be BEVs in the next, so to say, product launches.
So I also wanted to check on the nomenclature thing you mentioned. You want to change it, the reason why do you want that, and how are we going to see new Volvo cars?
I think it's to clean it up and make it easier for the consumer to understand. So we used to have the recharge affix. We put recharge behind XC40, but it still had the same name. You had the XC40 ICE and you had the XC40 recharge. So what we are doing now is that the XC40 BEV becomes the EX40 and the C40 becomes the EC40. So the E will symbolize the electric, and then it will fit very nicely into the EX30, the EX90, and then we will have a much more, I would say, easy to understand nomenclature for the consumer.
All right, so in electric vehicle market, luxury segment or luxury car segment has better adoption for EVs.
Yes,
how do you see that? What do you think are the...
I'm not surprised at all because I see it in every market. Every market is the same, and I think it's quite natural. In the beginning, the BEV cars were more expensive. So of course, in the luxury segment, you have perhaps consumers that have a bit more purchasing power. So I think it was quite natural. And I believe that it will continue to be like that. So I do believe that the luxury BEV market will grow more than the overall market.
Internationally, we've seen some kind of saturation maybe, or maybe we can call it slowdown in EV sales. How do you read it? And how do you see it in maybe 2-3 years?
I don't think it's a saturation. I think it's more of a bit of not even a pause, but it's a bit of a slowdown of the growth pitch. Okay. I mean, in most markets, the BEV is still growing. It's just that it's not growing at the same pitch as it did in the beginning. And we do believe that it will take off again, and that will be driven partly by products. There will be more product choices for the consumer. There will be more and more environmentally conscious consumers who select the BEV for that reason. And I think one very simple factor is that there are more BEVs on the road, which means that you have more friends driving a BEV, you have more colleagues that you talk to them and you understand, the charging and everything. So I think it will take off again and grow.
And what about ICE products? What are we going to see maybe next year from Volvo?
Yeah, I mean, we continue to have very good ICE products. And the news that we have right now is that we will make 2 of our models, the XC60, XC90, be able to use the E20 fuel. That will happen this year.
And what about plug-in hybrids?
Plug-in hybrids are doing well the rest of the world. We haven't brought them to India yet, but it's certainly something that could potentially happen. It's part of, as I said, we are looking at all the angles of the plan that we want to see. And we do have very strong plug-in hybrid products globally.
So you're still thinking, maybe looking at Indian GST, taxation regime, and then you'll decide.
Yeah, the taxation regime today is a bit complicated for plug-in hybrid. It's not that favorable. So that's part of our equation, of course, when we look at it.
Okay, and what about manufacturing in India? How do you see that? When do you see that?
I mean, we have our assembly plant, the CKD operation down in Bangalore. There's still room to grow there. So it's not like we have hit the ceiling in terms of capacity, so we can still grow. But sooner or later, when you talk significant growth, of course, we have to think about what industrial footprint do we need in India. And that's part of this plan I was talking about, that we are evaluating different things. Too early to say what we are going to do, but we are certainly looking at many different options. And many routes that we can take.
Right, and you take care of Asia Pacific region for Volvo, so wanted to understand, how do you see Indian market in context to other markets?
Yeah, I take care of what we call APAC. So I do not do China, and so it's Asia Pacific, not the China market. So inside of that, the markets I have, India is my smallest market at the moment, but I don't think it's going to stay for long. You know, I think India will grow in the ranking, so to say, inside of my region. And I do believe India will take a significant position, perhaps not to the level of Korea or Japan yet. Those are my two biggest markets, but it's getting closer and closer. And the growth in India will certainly outpace the growth in those markets.
Oh, fantastic. And good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.